Moving on to the end of the first quarter of Tour de Endurance Season 4 with the first technically brand new event of the season, the Gravitrax Pursuit, seen previously as Gravitrax Head-to-Head in the Expedition pre-show a few seasons ago. These heats here, in 8 heats of 2, will race down the course, and the first team to get 3 of their marbles across the line will count the time and move you on to the next round. It is bracket style, so there's no times don't matter, it's all about just beating your competitor.
The breakfast burritos and the polar bears will show us how it's done. We've seen this in the Expedition pre-show a long time ago. Remember, it's the third marble that crosses the line that would get you advancement. I think polar bears in a pretty good position. Breakfast burritos need to make a comeback. Ooh, did they? Tough to tell. But remember, that third marble that crosses the line is what's important. Polar bears will hold on. 11.71 to 11.92. Remember, it's the bracket style event, so you need to continuously beat your opponents to capture the gold.
And we'll start with the home team Condiment Kings and the Neptune Nomads there. You can see the heats off to the far right as we line up the first heat of the day. First 3 across the line. This event has never been done by these competitors in a professional style, so we'll see how they take to it. And out of the gate, it looks like Condiment Kings, the third marble is the one to look out for, and they have a clear advantage right now. Neptune Nomad's third marble is straggling, and one of them has gotten stuck. That should seal the deal for the Condiment Kings, and then we'll move on soundly out of the first heat with one of the Neptune Nomads. If you get a marble stuck, it does not spell doom, but it makes your chances of advancing that much more difficult. 2-second victory for the Condiment Kings. Goodness me, what a start.
Pretty much from start to finish, never in doubt for the Condiment Kings. A dominant victory, I must say, as the Jade Jockeys and the Grayscales will follow that up in heat number 2. Grayscales had a pretty good start here. It's Jade Jockeys all pretty close together. That's looking pretty good for them. Can the Grayscales catch up?
It's going to be close. Third Grayscale is trying to make up the moves, but can't be done. It's pushed back by not only the Jade Jockey's swarm, but also his own teammates and the Grayscales there. No team coordination and a 12.32. Well behind a great run by the Jade Jockeys. They all held together well. There was no fourth marble straggler, and the Jade Jockeys are showing us how it is done in this event as White Knights and Fearless Chickens come down next in heat number 3.
You want to make sure to get out of your teammates' way in this event. You want to block the opponents, but that's the only marbles you want to block. White Knights looking in a pretty good position here. The Crazy Chickens are all up there, though. It's going to be pretty close. Crazy Chickens will do it. I think their third marble crossed the line ahead of the White Knights, and yes, they did. But less than a second victory for the Crazy Chickens. That was probably the closest match we've seen thus far.
Easily the closest match we've seen so far. The other two were absolute blasts. This is going to be a tough one to follow. Serpent Speeders and the Blue Brigade, 2 very blue-hued teams taking to this track where it's all about trying to focus on one particular marble. I think the Blue Brigade have all 3 of them up there, in fact, but the Serpent Speeders could easily bring this back. There are 2 Blue Brigade now. I can't tell what's going on whatsoever. Serpent Speeders, I think I saw that third one come across the line in tandem with the second Blue Brigade. Serpent Speeders come out on top by just over half a second. That was a tough one to follow. I apologize.
On to heat number 5 with the Party Crashers and the Honeycombs. The Party Crashers coming off a gold medal in the downhill drag, but with the Serpent Speeders moving on, the Party Crashers are hoping to advance as well to continue that title charge. Honeycombs have 2 marbles well out in front. Party Crashers, though, all 4 of them pretty close together. That's going to do them favors as they get down to the bottom of the course. Honeycomb, their third marble is, just barely, I think, going to finish ahead of the third marble of the Party Crasher. The Honeycombs will get the win, although it was pretty close between those 2 marbles. The Honeycombs' final marble, big straggler for them. They had to rely on their first 3 marbles to get the win.
The first marbles, though, were very far ahead pretty much the entire time. The charging swarm of all 4 Party Crashers just could not do enough at the bottom as Cosmos and Cheeseballs come into run 6. Cheeseballs had the better start, but it is actually very close between those third marbles there in the mid-pack. Suddenly the Cheeseballs look much better off. Cosmos swarm at the bottom. It's going to be close down to the line. That was neck and neck for the third place, for the third marble in the spot. I think it just was the Cheeseballs, though, that you see. Yes, it was. Only just, though. About a length between them. Not even that. 0.05 of a second in it for the Cheeseballs.
These 2 teams both coming from the B League, very evenly matched in that matchup. As we move on to heat number 7, Hell Clowns and the Citrus Sprinters, 2 teams that have been in the past 2 A-Leagues. We'll see what they can do here. Hell Clowns have 1 well out in front. Citrus Sprinters, though, like they have more models up there. The Citrus Sprinters are in a slightly better position. Third Hell Clown, though, trying to catch up, but the Citrus Sprinters, all 4 of them actually, will finish before the last 2 Hell Clowns. So the Citrus Sprinters will be moving on just barely by under a second, and they are going to advance to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, the Hellclown's third marble there just fell to pieces right at the end, and that put it down for the entire team as Marauders and Green Peacocks, the final halfway point of the event, Heat 8, And the final heat of the day before we move on to the dicey quarterfinals. Marauders have a much better run going here. All three of them are headed like the second Green Peacock, but there could still be time. Marauders suddenly slow down to a crawl. Green Peacocks bring it back, and they get all three of theirs across in just that last little Gravitrax quadrant, and they move on in dramatic fashion. 10.78 to 11 points. Look at that third marble by Green Peacocks. A beautiful line to get up past the Marauders.
Yeah, they were behind for the whole race until the very end. A last gasp effort for the Green Peacocks Marauders, though they will still get 10th place. Cosmonauts the best of the rest as we move on to the quarterfinals. With quarterfinal A, Condiment Kings are hosts facing the Jade Jockeys. These two teams got pretty big victories in their opening rounds. We'll see what they can do here. Jade Jockeys have 3 well up there. Condiment Kings, the home team, is going to have to make a comeback here. Will they be able to do it?
It's not going to happen, not even close. Jade Jockeys absolutely sweep the Condiment Kings under the rug there. They had all the marbles out in front pretty much the entire race, and despite some contact between each other, they were already too far ahead, and that contact was pretty much unavoidable. Condiment Kings had no chance once they reached the halfway point. The Jade Jockeys were just too far gone as Crazy Chickens and the Serpent Speeders come down now. Chickens got 4th place in the last event, and currently 10 points behind the Serpent Speeders. These top two in the standings. Crazy Chickens have to advance here, otherwise Serpent Speeders' charge is only going to get bigger, but all 4 marbles are in front for a second there, and they will just absolutely demolish the Crazy Chickens. Not even a contest for the Serpent Speeders.
The championship leaders are moving on to the semi-finals. They're going to get another top 4 finish and potentially their 3rd medal of the season. Will anyone be able to stop them? We'll have to see. But the Honeycombs and the Cheese Balls in the next quarterfinal, we'll see who goes to the semi-finals as well. Cheese Balls have the first 2 marbles well out in front. Here's the Honeycombs though. They have a lot of marbles up there too. It's quite tough to tell between the yellow marbles from either team. I think Honeycombs will get it. It's actually very close. We'll have to see.
There you see, Honeycombs behind 2 of the Cheese Balls. Coming up on him, it is very close. That was the closest race we've seen so far, for sure. Behind Honeycombs and the Cheese Balls there, you see the former Stingers member just in front of the 3rd Cheese Balls there, and the Honeycombs will advance by 0.02 of a second. Shocking that races with this much chaos between 2 teams can have races this close, and the Honeycombs on to semi-finals by the slimmest of margins.
Now in the final quarterfinal to see who faces the Honeycombs, the Citrus Sprinters and the Green Peacocks. Green Peacocks have 2 of their Citrus Sprinters need to make a bit of comeback. They are doing that though. It's going to be pretty close as they come across the line. Citrus Sprinters I think are more up there, and I think the Citrus Sprinters have done it.
Just ahead of that 3rd Green Peacock that you see on the bottom of the track, you see Citrus Sprinters just there. That Green Peacock's hitting that last hexagon just knocks them off course, and that could have been the difference between advancement. They will finish in 7th place, and unsurprisingly with that run by the Cheese Balls on the Honeycombs, 10.31 is a very good time to not advance to the semi-finals. They'll be feeling it with that, but it is still a decent result for the Cheese Balls, who are looking for them as we move on to the semi-finals for the medals. Jade Jockeys and the Serpent Speeders. Many teams, I imagine, hoping for the Jade Jockeys to pull through here.
Jade Jockeys have 3 marbles up there. Serpent Speeders are going to need to come in, bring it back. Oh, Jade Jockeys have lost a marble. Will the Serpent Speeders capitalize? I don't think they will. Jade Jockeys will get the win and knock out the championship leaders. But it was just barely by under 0.2 of a second. Jade Jockeys will go on to the final and get their first medal in over a season.
It's their first medal in several seasons. Jade Jockeys have locked in and ended their 3-season drought of medals. They have not gotten a medal since Season 1 of Tour de Endurance in the A-League, but even then, Citrus Sprinters and the Honeycombs now racing after that fantastic race. Citrus Sprinters have lost a member, but their 3rd marble is just too far out in front. Honeycombs do make it closer at the end. They actually lost a marble very early on, did the Honeycombs. I didn't even see that one get stuck, but Citrus Sprinters easily advanced there, or onto the final to face the Jade Jockeys. Honeycombs will face the Serpent Speeders for the bronze. But what scenes we've just seen in the semi-finals, I'm still quite shocked that Jade Jockeys have finally ended that drought.
A great job by the Jade Jockeys. The Serpent Speeders are going to be shocked after that. They're facing the Honeycombs for the bronze medal. Serpent Speeders chasing their 3rd medal of the season. They have 3 marbles well out in front. Can the Honeycombs make a charge? Honeycombs, their 3 marbles at the back need to make a comeback, and they've made that comeback. Serpent Speeders now have 2 back, but their 3rd marble made a charge towards the end, and it's going to be pretty close for the bronze medal, and the Serpent Speeders have done it by 0.07 of a second. They will get the bronze in their 3rd medal in 4 events.
Seven speeders look pretty untouchable at the top of the table here. Jade Jockeys and the Citrus Sprinters. Jade Jockeys have ended their drought of 3 seasons without a medal. Citrus Sprinters' last medal was at the end of season 3. Both of them will be on the podium here, but who will be on the top step? It is currently Jade Jockeys in that third spot. There, they had the third medal in front, but they get one stuck. It's all gone wrong in the last section, and Citrus Sprinters will win their first team gold ever due to a mistake from the Jade Jockeys, pushing them out and into the silver medal spot. But Citrus Sprinters consistent all the way through, all 4 marbles across for the third Jade Jockey. Fantastic by the Citrus Sprinters to claim their first team gold. Jade Jockeys and Citrus Speeders rounding out the podium.
The Citrus Sprinters, they captured gold at the end of season 3, and they have not waited long to do it again in season 4. Brilliantly done by them. Jade Jockeys, though, they'll be happy with the silver, and the Serpent Speeders the bronze.
And another medal for the 7 speeders now puts them only a 12-point margin ahead of the Citrus Sprinters, who vault 3 spots up into second place. Face Chickens and Marauders and Party Crashers fall down 1 as a result of the Citrus Sprinters, but it's actually not a huge gap in the A-League, but the B-League will do the next event. It's the Funnel Classic.